Welcome back to HBO Girls Rewatch.
I'm Amelia, we're taller.
And I'm Evan, Lazarus Holler.
And today
we are doing Goodbye Tour Season 6, Episode 9.
What the fuck?
Lena Dunham actually says this is the real ending of the show, and then the next episode.
Did you read the IMDb trivia question?
Oh, of course I did.
According to Lena Dunham, she considers this episode to be the more traditional series finale, while Latching, the next episode, is a short film epilogue.
Yeah, that's literally what I was going to say.
I'm joking.
I love the trivia questions on there.
I know. I love trivia.
Well, I was trying to figure out what campus they were filming at, because they say it's Vassar, but Vassar's not on the Hudson River like that.
I don't know, but when she talks to those kids, I'm eating it up.
I know they finally mentioned the word Polly. It took them 6 seasons, but they got there.
By the way, for audio listeners, I am in our merch. It's a baby tee that says "Girl, what
girl are you?"
And I got a cold brew right before I came here, and the barista was like,
I wish you had your punch card still.
It was at our new spot. I've never been.
Oh.
But this girl was like, I love your shirt. It's so niche. And I was like, thank you. I'm like, do you know where it's from?
It's limited dish.
I'm like, do you know what it's based on?
Paxson. It's Princess Polly.
I'm right here. I'm like, oh, you must see those clips online of those two annoying bitches. LOL.
LOL.
How are you today, Evan?
Good. I was at the Java Center all day, the fancy food show, Northeast.
So that was a lot of words not totally coming together to make sense. But
Java Center location, event, fancy food show, specifically fancy food show Northeast.
So Northeast food that's fancy was being displayed at a place called the Java Center?
Really good guess. No. Actually, it's for food around the world. They just have 2 locations. They have an East location and a West location.
But you said Northwest, so what do we do with that?
No, I said Northeast. They don't even.
God.
Northwest is almost a university, though.
What was I watching yesterday where it's like, oh, never mind.
I don't know if we'll bring this up during the podcast, but I wanted to bring it up to you because I know how excited you'll be, and I don't want you to do this in front of Devon. But Hannah is pregnant in this episode, correct? And when she's talking to the president of Vassar, the head of the English department of Vassar, she brings up Norman Mailer, tying it to pregnancy. Do you know what the Gilmore Girl episode where Norman Mailer's in it's called? Norman Mailer.
Pregnancy?
I'm pregnant.
Okay, because as soon as they brought up Norman Mailer, I was like, and I of course only know that because of the many times I've had to Google it every time I rewatch Gilmore Girls, and Norman Mailer sits and just orders iced tea all day, and then Suki finally kicks him out, and then he just goes to Luke's, and then Luke is like, I hate this guy, and Lorelai's like, ah.
Yeah, that's a big draw for you. I just wanted to pull out a fact I knew that would mean a lot to you.
I watched a movie that changed my life yesterday.
Inside Out 2?
No, that actually disappointed me. It didn't. I was like, being 13 is so much worse than this. Grow up. And it was so bad. Like, she was going through enough, but it's like, whatever. And the stakes weren't really there. Her friends were too nice. I'm like, by the way,
drama, she's on a hockey team, but her friends treated her pretty good.
She was experienced anxiety for the first time, and all these new emotions entered the scene as she like went to this hockey camp.
Imagine experiencing anxiety for the first time at 13. It's like, honey, call lying about a 7-year-old and you think someone's robbing your house every night.
I'm just like, the older girls are way too nice and forgiving of her crazy behavior, and her best friends for life are way too forgiving of her suddenly acting crazy. I'm like, when you're 13 and you act like Riley, both the people above you and laterally want to kill you and are mean to you and don't actually help you through the pain. So at least that's
every
my
other
experience.
TV show, though, 13-year-old girls are the worst and awful.
I'm just like, were other people comforted in middle school and bad things happened to them? Because for me, it was just like, that's where my walls went up. I'm like,
well, is
so
Riley
many
traditionally
girls...
popular?
No.
Oh.
Because she became friends with these girls because this one girl was new in town, and like a bunch of coins fell out of a jar during like show and tell when they were like 8, and she was like, I'm gonna be brave and nice and go help this girl instead of laughing with the rest of the class.
Wait, why do only children get good meet cutes? No one's having a fun meet cute. It's like Shoshanna here, her meet cute, she met this guy in front of the line for Sprinkles cupcake vending machine.
What?
Just meet cutes. Shoshanna met her husband. Ooh, our guest is here.
Okay, amazing intro, and we'll be right back with our guest. Joining us on the couch today, we're so excited to have him. Guys, freak the hell out for Devon Walker.
Hello, our tallest guest so far.
Let's do it.
Thank God.
That's all I've ever wanted to be on a podcast. Is
You're
the
our
podcast.
Second Street guy too.
Yes. Who was the first one?
Moss Pericone.
Ah, that makes sense.
And it's been 4 seasons since we've had.
That tracks, honestly.
Yeah.
That totally. I'm not surprised by that.
Wait, how did you find Girls?
I was in college and it was just like the hit show. And I feel like my friend Amanda was like, you got to watch it and you got to be into it. And it's one of those, you ever have a show where you're like, man, this show's really not for me.
Right.
But I absolutely love it. Like I really doubt that while they were writing the show, they were like, oh, Devon will really enjoy this.
No, Lena made it for you, girl.
I mean, maybe
did.
there's something about her really in that show really, I don't know. They did a good job.
Wait, did you go to liberal arts or state?
I went to a state school, baby. Big school.
You went to a state school and you still found Girls?
Did you go to UT Austin?
I went to Texas State University, which is
Oh
like
my
UT
God.
for dumber kids.
Go Bobcats.
Go Bobcats.
Everyone from my high school is Texas State.
Yeah, exactly. It's very easy to get into. Huge, giant school.
Did you jump in the river when you graduated?
No, because I graduated in December and I wasn't.
It's cold.
It was too cold. I didn't want to do it. But yeah, I was definitely torrenting episodes of Girls and like watching because I didn't have HBO and I didn't want to pay for it.
Well, I'm sure you know like NYU culture, but NYU gives students unlimited free access to HBO Max.
Or they did.
Back
that
in the
true?
day.
Because
Yeah.
my NYU dental student
Just to get the
cousin does
kids
it.
like into the programming.
Sure.
Lock them in for life because they knew they were going to be the cultural leaders.
Because that really, I mean, that's actually very smart. That really is the core demo for, I mean,
Literally.
it's certainly this show. I mean, they even had Shoshanna went to NYU.
Literally.
So she was also a part of it.
I do
That's
also
perfect.
think it's just like happenstance because they all actually happen to be HBO interns that go to that school.
That is true.
Just
I feel
the whole
like
That is
there's a
true.
real
Yeah.
pipeline.
Yeah.
And shout out to all our NYU listeners. We were never mad at you and we never will be.
No.
I'm like, if we piss them off, we have nothing.
We would have,
Yeah.
wouldn't have a listener.
Shout out to everybody who goes to NYU. My girlfriend goes to, or she went to NYU. I don't have a college girlfriend. My girlfriend went to NYU.
Your girlfriend
so.
who's 19 years old.
My girlfriend who, just graduated her senior year. She's actually starting it at NYU this
Oh
fall.
my God. We're
Yeah.
rooting for you,
Oh
Michaela.
my God.
Ew.
Okay, I can't believe it's almost the end. I cried watching this morning because I don't want it to be over.
I also watched it this morning. Also, can I say, when you guys sent me like which one we were doing, I was like, oh man, I hate the 6th season.
Really?
I don't, because everything's so sad.
I know.
I know.
Everything's so sad in the 6th season. And the Adam and Jessa situation really bummed me out.
Yeah.
When I was like, this is really ugly stuff.
Wait, which part of it? Like the actual relationship or the way they ended it? Or
But
presumably ended it?
yeah, exactly. But I mean, both, just everything about it. I was like, this feels so slimy. Them two getting together to begin with feels like nasty and slimy. If that happened in my real life, it would like fuck me up, which I guess is the point. But yeah, it felt gross in a way that I didn't really care for. And then it was like, there's that episode where they like break all that shit. They get in that big fight and they like break all that stuff in the apartment. And I was like, this doesn't make me feel
like,
good.
no, this isn't it. And then they stay together for another many months. It's beautiful.
We don't ever
We
get a
don't know what
definitive
happened.
answer if they stay together or not.
Yeah.
The only thing is we can like read Jessa's energy in that room at the
Yeah.
engagement party. It's very much giving single because she like waited 4 hours outside the party to walk in. But we'll get deeper into that.
We'll get into that. Okay.
Yeah, we'll give it a sec.
Let's dive into the episode. So this is season 6, episode 9. What's it called? Goodbye Tour.
Goodbye tour.
Mhm.
We're gonna do a quick 1-minute synopsis.
In a way. Oh, so yeah, well, I'll do 20 seconds of it.
Oh, it's 20 and 20.
and then
20.
you're going
okay.
to have to finish it all off.
Really
for
bring
if
us
you feel
home because
okay
we're
with
not
that.
gonna get through much.
Okay.
No pressure.
I'm ready.
Do you have an improv background?
Not really, no.
Okay, perfect.
Ooh.
Oh.
Okay. In a way, we go. Hannah is at Vassar's College as she is interviewing for a dream job of being an English teacher, part of Vassar's greater programming.
Got through the first 12 seconds.
Thank God. So you might think it's a rocky interview, but actually she nails it because on a Metro North ride back as she's bumping Miley Cyrus 23, she gets a call from the head of the department being like, hey, Hannah, we had an amazing connection, and girl, you got the job. LOL.
Literally. And then she tells Elijah, and Elijah's like, Hannah, no, we moved to this city together. What do you mean? You can't just leave. And she's like, I can't raise a baby in this godforsaken town. There's shit everywhere. And then, of course, what happens? Bring us home.
Oh, wow. Just, okay.
So she goes to Manhattan then, and she goes around different stores in Manhattan.
She sees 2 young girls, and she's like, wow, I used to be like them, but I'm not anymore.
Yes.
Right.
And
They're
then-
talking about their new apartment.
They're talking about their new apartment, and then she's on a subway and her boobs are so big because she's pregnant that this guy like falls in love with her. But then when she stands up, he sees that she's pregnant and is like, "Ma'am, I'll help you up the stairs."
Thank God. And she's walking back to her apartment. Who did she run into? Caroline.
Yes, she runs into Caroline. Caroline with her new baby, played by Gabby Hoffman, and Caroline just got off of a stint in the mental facility,
Correct.
but got accurately medicated, and now she is ready to start a family. And then
Hannah's like, I gotta go for a fucking walk. This bitch is crazy.
Yes.
And then she is like, I'm gonna go talk to Shosh.
And then she ends up in Soho, goes to Shosha's apartment. And what's going on at Shosha's apartment? An
giant engagement party with every single person except for Hannah present.
Meanwhile, it's like Hannah had been calling Marnie all day trying to talk to that girl, and Marnie would not answer. So to see her there, she's pissed. Jess is there. Everybody's there. Hannah's like, what the hell? And Shoshanna's like, actually, we're not fucking friends anymore. And you look stupid in your short overalls. So get it together. And then they're all like, okay, girls meeting in the bathroom because interior bathtub is really important to the show.
No, it's fun. Also, Elijah is there, which really that really added insult to injury because you never really knew them to be friends in any kind of way. And he's like, oh yeah, that's the homie.
Yeah.
That's the homie.
Huh.
But they, of course, have a huge friendship breakup. Shoshanna's like...
everyone kind of splits ways, but then Hannah and Jess have this beautiful moment outside of the bathroom where they're like, I'm so sorry for whatever I did to you. I'm so sorry for whatever I did to you. We don't actually know how we hurt each other. We can't get into the detail, but like, let's just forgive and forget. And then we're all going to dance the night away. Marnie's free. Shoshanna's free. She's engaged even. Jessa and Hannah are finally having a little bit of reconciliation. A word that I almost know. Reconciliation together.
And that's 1 minute. We did it.
We actually had to talk about it all.
I know. It's such an important. Yeah.
Literally. Sorry, no, that's our goodbye tour.
No, this is our goodbye. I'm like tearing up.
Yeah.
It's so emotional. It is such an important episode for female friendship. So you're perfect for this.
Yeah.
I'm
that's
like,
exactly who they wanted for this one.
Yeah.
Sure.
I'm like, we're really going to get into it. But we have a very important question that we ask all our guests.
What's that?
Girl, what girl are you?
And now is this for the series like in its entirety?
I want you to do both.
Or is this for this specific episode?
And then I want you to do this episode. Yeah.
It's a two-parter.
Yeah, I was thinking about this as I was rewatching the episode. For the show, I kind of want to be Jessa.
I think a straight man would say that.
I kind of I want to be sort of like a messy, chaotic, like mysterious person. That's like who I'd like to be, but like actually like
with a Mets hat on. I'm Hannah though.
You're so boho chic. Come on.
I'm Hannah Horvath. I think at like for the series, I think that's me.
Yeah. Is it because writer or because of the way she acts?
I think maybe both. I think especially in that phase of my life when I was like in my like early 20s, I feel like I was like vaguely creative but had no idea really in what direction to like point it in. And I like kept failing out of a bunch of different jobs. Like at one point I thought I was going to be like a radio guy. And so I did a radio internship and I just got fired because I was bad at it and was bad at truly everything until I like started doing
I feel
comedy.
like you could be a disc jockey.
That's what I thought too.
Yeah.
It was not the life for me. You had to wake up all early.
Right.
You had to wake up all
4
early.
a.m.
And I was also having to do. I'm not supposed to be doing that.
No one can be a disc jockey anymore. It's not a real job.
That's also something I discovered.
Wendy Williams is the only person ever like make it work.
The guy that I used to work for is a successful radio guy, but he's like the last one.
Yeah.
He like made it in right before that stopped being a job.
Yeah.
He's like got like a
Is
big.
he C100?
He has like a big country show. It's like a nationwide like.
Country is so radio. I will give him that.
Exactly. Because at the time we worked in like a local pop station, but then like a year or two later he like got hired by this like country station. Now he lives in Nashville.
I love him.
And
I
he's
want to
like,
know him.
Shout out.
No, you
Is
don't.
it Bobby Bones?
Yes.
Oh my God.
I was Bobby Bones'
Wait,
intern.
how do you know?
Because we're from the same place.
Because Texas, my entire childhood, I was forced against my will to listen to Bobby Bones talk every day.
Yep.
But we love him down there.
And wait, and so for this episode, what girl are you?
For this episode, I think I'm Shoshanna.
Boom.
For this episode, I think I'm
You're
Shoshanna.
saying I'm wiping my hands clean of my old friends.
I think I'm saying, hey, this relationship's not good for me. I took some time and I thought about it, and I got to peace out.
That's amazing.
Damn.
Wait, when did you do that?
When did I do that in my life?
Uh-huh.
When have I done that in my life? I feel like I actually just did that with somebody in my family, actually.
Oh my God.
Legit. I was like, it was time.
You don't have to say it.
It was time. It was just a family member that kind of was only coming to me when they wanted something. And then like sometimes they would act like we were being buddies. Sometimes it would seem like we were like having a normal relationship, but it was always leading back to them asking me for something. And like actually a couple days ago, I was like, hey, we got to shut this down. We can't do this anymore. We gotta spend some time apart.
Oh my God.
Much like Shosh.
You
That
are
is
so
Shosh
Shoshanna.
AF.
Well, Amelia, girl, are you?
I'm definitely not Shosh because setting boundaries is really difficult for me and I wouldn't be able to pull it off. But I think I'm ultimately...
You're Hannah.
Really?
Because there's this one specific line where Hannah goes, I want someone to tell me exactly what to do but make me think it's my idea. And you've said that sentence to me 3 times a day.
I think that is kind of how I say that every day in a different way to a different person. I'm begging someone to just tell me what to do.
Yeah, I know, that's your classic
and they
line.
won't tell me. Literally no one will tell me.
Yeah, you to have sex with someone.
They'll tell me?
No, but that's what Elijah's advice is to Hannah.
Oh, with a guy on a subway.
Well, it didn't work.
Yeah. Okay. So there's no answer. Girl, what girl are you?
I'm so Elijah. I'm like, I steal yogurt. I'm going to show all my friends. That's a big part of my being.
You're going to get a Broadway role even though you can't dance.
It was so awesome that the play was White Men Can't Jump. The play. That was so funny to me.
Oh my God. Thank God he got it because we just covered the Bounce episode where he's auditioning. And I'm like, if he doesn't get it, it's like, where are we leaving this character?
Right. Yeah. And I'm probably going to a party and not telling my roommate.
Yeah.
That is so real.
Wait, was season 6, was this the season where he had that whole thing with like the Anderson Cooper guy?
It's the wrapping up of that all.
Okay.
So in season 5, he's like, Dill, like, don't you want to be with me? And he's like, no,
He's
you're
like,
aimless.
Yep.
And then Elijah's like, well, fuck, I'm gonna go to an open call. And so 2 episodes ago, he did
Upsetting
it.
because we actually never get a full closure on that.
I know, but the Elijah spinoff is on the way. I can feel it. I can feel it. He's going to London.
He's going to London.
We're hoping the new Lena Dunham show is just Elijah there.
I would love that. We'd love to see it.
Oh my God. Where do we even begin with this?
I think we should talk about there's kind of only one through line throughout this. Let's just start with Vassar.
Yeah, what do we think about Hannah being like, I'm done blogging, I'm ready to teach?
Well, I don't think she's actually done vlogging because that's how she got her job there. If we remember correctly, she's actually hired on to be an internet writing teacher to 100 kids, 25 students to 4 different classes. Can she handle that?
I just love that there's no job interview once in this show where either the interviewer or the interviewee is sexually harassing the other person.
Yeah.
We never pulled it off.
Right, yeah. And we can't. We won't.
No, like we started in season 1 with Hannah being like, Mike Birbiglia, you're a rapist. And that was brutal. And now this time the woman is like, you're so good at the internet and your tits rock.
Oh, yeah.
But
And what did she say? She said something about being like eager and bouncy like a young cock.
yeah, she said cock like 2 or 4 times.
She said several times.
Like rushing blood was the big reference there. I do think I don't want to like give anyone a pass for this, but I'm like, if anyone can say those words and be okay with it in that setting, is like it is an elderly English teacher.
Yeah, no, it felt right. It didn't feel.
Yeah,
it didn't feel that
crazy.
gross. It felt like that's like I wouldn't be upset if a woman like that talked to me like that.
Yeah,
No, but she's only one.
She can get off the hook.
Yeah, you can do that.
I want her off the hook.
Do you think Hannah would be a good professor?
I think yes. Because actually she was a teacher for a little there and she rocked at that. And you know what? The thing about in high school, they don't always encourage you to have relationships with the students outside of class. Like they do, but it's not for the full extent. The main thing they want from college professors, like they barely even teach a class, but they want you to go for a run with them afterwards. Or at least that was part of my college experience where like your teachers will go on runs with you and talk about the lecture notes. Oh, you guys didn't apply to liberal arts colleges.
I'm like, isn't this shut? I'm like, that was not what happened to me in high school or college at all.
No, coming from a Vassar / Oberlin background, like that is what they want. They want you to have the closest relationship possible with your teacher. You don't even have to teach them anything. Just like you have to invite your students over for dinner once a week.
Yeah, that didn't happen to me.
Whoa, that seems like so you were doing stuff like that on a regular basis.
No, I opted not to, but it was
but they did want it to happen.
Yeah, they did want it to happen.
Well, Evan also went to a high school where they didn't do grades, they did vibes, and they had conversations. And all their teachers' names were like
we
Lisa.
called all their teachers by their first name,
This
and I
was
went over
your
to their
high school?
house. Yeah, I went over to their house once a week for lunch.
Oh my! I didn't even know a high school like I knew colleges like that existed. I'd never.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was in moral development school, but I'm like, my ethics are kind of off.
You're like, we had one thing to learn.
Yeah.
I didn't really learn it, if I'm being
But
honest.
I'm actually still one of the better guys because out of everyone in my we don't have to talk about something. We're like, there were 24 kids in my grade and 3 of them were lipsticking people, aka rape.
What? I've never heard those words used as the same thing.
Oh yeah, lipstick on TikTok is
What?
mascara.
But you made up is it lipstick or mascara?
It's mascara, right?
Yeah, so
Yeah.
don't be starting lipsticking. We can't create that many words. But the job, we're so happy for her. I will say, everybody is like, Hannah's so incompetent. She's so stupid. This girl knows how to apply for fancy shit and get an interview. Like, she got into her master's degree or whatever.
Yeah, this show is very much about higher ed.
That is true. She went to that program in Iowa.
Right.
She did this one. She worked at that fancy prep school.
Literally.
Yeah,
but
true.
you know what? It makes sense because her parents are college professors.
Right.
And anytime parents are college professors, their kids are obsessed with
Like, kids
academia.
can have 3 degrees.
Mhm.
Yeah, literally.
Yeah.
I know, because also Jessa's trying to finish her bachelor's degree to this, and Shoshanna graduates NYU.
Yep.
I mean, if anyone does need a degree in this show, it is Marnie, because that girl is the most aimless of them all.
That is true.
No, she's going to find herself in New Jersey. I
Like,
can
do you
feel
think if
it.
you go enough like body better boot camps, like you deserve a degree in something?
Yes.
Thank you for saying that. I'm addicted to going to Better Body Boot Camp in Williamsburg.
Oh.
One time I worked out and the owner of Van Leeuwen's came up to me after and was like, hey, I own the ice cream. And I was like, yes.
Period. Did we miss the truck?
I don't remember it. Anyways, Hannah, job.
Right. So Hannah
shout
gets
out.
the job. I think this is one of the best needle drops maybe of this whole show, because it's like my clinical experience of going to upstate New York. It's like I'm going to Beacon. I'm playing my place that says road trip to Maine. I'm having such a great day. And my Metroverse ride back, I'm like, I'm playing dubstep. I'm playing something hard. I'm playing Miley Cyrus 23andMe.
I forgot about that until that moment when she was listening to. I forgot when Miley Cyrus was making songs about wearing Jordans. What a beautiful time in our nation's history.
She's really had such a beautiful career.
We'll never get that back. You know what I'm saying?
We'll never get that
We're
back.
probably never getting hip hop Miley ever again.
Don't say that.
You think she's coming back?
In her
You think
60s,
her and Future are gonna do like a
yeah,
album
collab.
together?
Maybe.
I mean, I'd like to see it.
I never caught that girl out. She's always surprising us, and like in a way people don't even want to be surprised.
Miley?
Yeah,
Yeah.
constantly.
Yeah, she's always reinventing. I do
She's
appreciate that.
singular raising the bar.
Well, and, like, you know how Beyonce is always doing a new genre for every album?
Yeah.
Miley did that first, but people hated her for that.
That's true. It's, to be fair, she picked the one genre that nobody wanted her to do. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was kind of like, okay, you could have gone, she was already doing country.
Right.
You could have gone more pop. I mean, she could have done a dubstep record. I think people would have been fine with that.
Yeah.
She was like, no, I'm putting on Jordans and a backwards Bulls jersey. And like,
It is
and
so
rocking
clear
out.
to me again that you didn't go to a liberal arts college.
No, unfortunately not. I
We
didn't even.
loved it there.
It was never even presented to me as an option that I could. Nobody even ever mentioned that to me. My parents were very much just like, "No, you're gonna go to the cheapest school possible."
Of course.
You're not. Yeah, it's. We didn't even talk about liberal arts. I didn't realize that until like a couple of my friends from college went, and then I went there and I was like, "Oh, I was probably supposed to.
Right.
I was probably supposed to do.
Especially be a writer.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was probably supposed to do this.
You deserve to talk about polyamorous relationships on campus.
Yes.
You deserve that more than
Yes.
anyone I know.
Yes.
You
Instead
brought
of,
artwork into this house.
I did. That's true. That's a new thing. I'm trying to become an art guy.
You would have done it
Are
much
your walls
sooner.
blank right now? Or?
Yeah.
I have one thing hung up. I've only been in my apartment for 2 months.
Mm.
So it's a new apartment. I have one thing hung up, and it is a cue card. It's a cue card from SNL from the first time I ever got introduced on the show.
That's so cute.
Aw.
And so it's John
That's
Hamm.
the only thing you have hung up, though?
It is the only thing I have hung up so
This is
far.
like I brought my brother all these most expensive posters ever, and he's lived in his apartment for 1 year. He won't put them up, and he's lost them casually.
Well, I'm like intimidated by hanging stuff up because I'm like, well,
Right.
what if I hang it up and then I don't want it there?
This is why
So-
you have a girlfriend.
That is true. And she's actually, no, I have some stuff hung up in my office in my apartment. I have some
Okay.
like old like magazine. I have some like old Fader posters.
Ooh.
Aw, I miss the past.
They are from the past too. One of them is like Solange from like 2013.
Heaven.
Oh, wow. That really is a pass now.
Yes. Yeah. Crazy to
Yeah,
say.
crazy
isn't
to say that.
Yeah, really.
Yeah, so she gets a job at Vassar as she's
Thank God
blasting
she got a
Miley
job.
Cyrus.
Yeah.
Thank God. And I think this is her best job yet, in my opinion. Like, I think the dream job for so many is to be a college professor.
Yeah, it's cool.
Really?
She got it with like just substitute teacher experience.
Yeah, literally.
That's pretty girl boss of
It
her.
is true. It is like she kind of hasn't really. She had like that book deal that fell through.
Right.
She was working at GQ for a second. Which,
You know what? Actually, all these things are adding up, and she's probably like, I've written for Jezebel, like, and this woman's trying to get an internet girl. It's like clearly
she was an internet girl for real.
Yeah.
That's true.
Wait, but are you guys saying that your college professors like weren't people that like were doing entrepreneurship for 20 years and then they like decided to teach one day? That's all my teachers. Like they had never opened a book before, but yet they were leading me in lectures.
No.
Oh.
I think it's. I don't. Where'd you go to school?
I randomly went to Toronto.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's a college in Canada?
Yeah.
No, my professors were not. I mean, also these, I went to a big state school, so like you don't know most of these professors
Right.
for real. But I do believe most of them were like just straight up academics who just were like writing research papers and stuff. You're
Same.
like,
Or they
"That's
were
crazy."
they were like a guy that like wrote for a Canadian television show when they were 30 and
Yeah.
nonsense.
Mhm.
And you're like,
Oh,
okay.
that's awesome.
Mhm.
Love working moms.
Where you guys rate my professor vibes, and what do you think Hannah's rate my professors were like?
I bet she'll get good
Is she
reviews
getting Chili
and bad
Pepper?
ones. She's gonna get 5 stars or
Yeah.
1 star, just like us.
I think she'd get 5 stars from the kids who like don't really want to do that much work. You know what I'm saying? Because
Yeah.
I can't
Right.
imagine Hannah's like assigning like a lot of really difficult. It's probably just like papers that are sort of up to your interpretation. But I feel like kids who are like really like straight A students,
Yeah.
the like kids who are like really like anal retentive. I feel like those kids probably are not rocking with Hannah. They're probably
Yeah.
like, we want more work actually. Give us. We need
I
an
will
extra
say
assignment.
her being annoying to the kids on the field.
I loved it.
Oh,
I
yeah.
was like, she's so charming. She's like, and y'all hate this, but whatever. Like, she is so cute.
Well, I'm like, if you were to be an internet writing teacher, I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm sure the homework she's assigning is like to write one tweet, and that's when it was 140 characters.
Yeah, exactly. I would love a teacher like Hannah.
I
Yeah,
did.
of course.
I
would
did have
love
to
her as a
tweet for
professor.
classes in college and use like hashtag RTA 103, and it was like, this lecture goes crazy. Post, but
That's
whatever.
major.
That's
So then
awesome.
she heads back to the city, and during her time back, she runs into 2 girls in a witch shop, and then we assume the witch shop is like in Chelsea or something,
Mhm.
or West Village, and they're having a conversation. We're like, oh, should we buy this candle? And the other girl's like, well, it's not going to help our apartment not smell like pizza or hot wings.
Mhm.
And she has this moment where she's like, this is kind of what it was like my time when I first moved to New York. And she's having this real retrospective about her last 5 to 7 years. We never know how long she's been in the city for. As she's leaving this store, and you like watch her wander through Manhattan.
Mhm.
And even Lena was like, these 2 actresses came to set during the after show, where like this was their first time ever being in something, and they had such a new energy to them, and they were so excited by all the food that was there, and like that was her interaction on pilot day as well.
Yeah.
It was so sweet.
Yeah.
I start crying. It's so beautiful. The beginning of ends of things. And they said in the bonus features that they were almost going to make Shoshanna say the line, like, what have these last 6 years even been for? To kind of just like subvert all the work of all 6 seasons by being like, why did we do this?
Mhm.
Which is so slay.
Literally.
But let's dive into, I guess, the Marnie Hannah relationship.
Mm.
Ooh. I guess.
Yeah. What's your take?
On like where they're at, like presently, like
yeah,
where they're
like, Marnie's not answering, but we know next episode she decides to move with her, so it's like random sauce.
I forgot about that. I forgot about that in this episode, in episode 9, that like Hannah's like calling her and calling her and calling her again, because I remember the end where like they're living together upstate, and yet that part never really comes
Right.
together. That part
I
never really
know.
like connected for me. I'm like, what? Because they don't show how they like bridge that gap, right? Like the last that you see, it's like all of them being like, we're not going to be friends anymore.
Yeah, so Hannah and Marnie
Yeah.
had this very specific moment in Hostage Situation season 6, episode 2,
Uh-huh.
where Desi's trying to break into the house.
Yeah.
And right before that, Marnie and Hannah are being like, we've both been so like focused on ourselves for so long. Like, if we're gonna have a friendship, we have to really care about one another. And actually, they've had a really nice friendship since that episode until now. So implications that they finally really do care about each other. Especially, it's like both of their relationships have faded away, and like they're going back to initial thesis of the show, where it's like to think about friendship and putting friendship first. So that's the implication into now. It's like they're actually in one of the healthiest places ever been in their
I see.
relationship in this specific part of the show.
I see.
So I do think it's Marnie's trying to be like, if you listen to her voicemail during this, she's like, I hope you have a zenful, beautiful day.
Yeah.
I think Marnie's like kind of weirdly, after taking enough animal classes at Equinox, she's finally in like her self-healing era or whatever that looks like. Like she uses a lot of therapeutic language in the bathroom thing with everyone. She's like, everyone go around and say like what your quarrels are. And it's like, thank you so much, Shoshanna, for raising your hand. Like she's trying to, like she's been to enough therapy appointments with her online therapist that like she can actually like weaponize this certain kind of language right now more than ever.
She's amazing at weaponizing it. It's pissing me off though because I'm never learning from my online therapist.
Because you go to her in person.
No, but when I tried to do online therapy, I was like, you're stupid.
I love my online.
Did I have a wall up or were they bad at their job? We'll never know. Well, vote below.
Yeah, I forgot about that. I forgot about that specific journey. I watched episodes 8 and 9 to kind of see like what was going on. I really remember originally I was supposed to do episode 8, but I was like gone. I was like out of town. I rewatched episode 8 because I remember that scene with Hannah and Adam when they're like sitting at the table when they like both realize that like they're not going to be able to figure it out, but they don't say anything. It's one of my favorite scenes in the entire show. Yeah. It's really like, even I know that's not what we're talking about, but like that scene.
No, it really is.
That scene specifically is like so affecting, and I'm like, that's acting.
That is acting.
Oh, with her lip quiver.
Yeah, they're both just.
She needs to trademark that shit.
You know,
it's beautiful.
And and so much happens and nobody says anything, and you're like, that's it. It's done.
I know. So much of writing is what's not said.
Say that.
Even at SNL.
No, it doesn't know we're saying everything very directly all the time.
No, I think the writing is exact one for one.
Yeah. Nobody's compared those shows before, but y'all are onto something.
We're on it.
Yeah, there's something to it.
Well, it's gorgeous. Yeah, so I actually really appreciate where Marnie and Hannah's relationship is at this point. And like, especially because Marnie really takes on the burden of like, I'm about to be someone's godmother. Like, I can't be having a crazy life right now, even though everything's falling around me. Like, I have to be the best godmother ever to Hannah's baby, to Grover. Yeah. So she actually does, I feel like, take some time here to be like, taking a step forward. And also, it's just like, they're always meant to be friends. Like, you look at the first scene of this whole show where it's like just the two of them palling around in the apartment. It's like these two are always meant to be friends. Like, there is no specific relationship in this show that like has ever meant to like stand a test of time. Like, you don't really always get that, but like that really makes sense to me. You got to start the show, you end it.
I also think the way, like, well, I mean, can we talk about it? The Hannah Jessa reconciliation. They've been like not on the same page for what is it, 2 seasons now? It like happens like after Iowa. Yeah. So to see them like come back together, it's so Charlie XCX, let's work it out on the remix happening. But it's so like fun because I do think we've posted so many clips of like Hannah Marnie scenes over the 6 seasons, and all the comments are always like, damn, that really is the love story of the show. It's like these two always show up for each other, and no matter how much they're all in their own shit, those two always come back together. But with Shoshanna, she's like, I'm tapping out, I'm over it. And with Jessa and Hannah, I think the reconciliation is still just like, they're like, okay, let's forgive each other, but we're not gonna like build a life together. It's more just like a let's be on a good note. Whereas like Hannah and Marnie, it's like let's do life together. Hannah and Jessa, it's like let's stop being mad at each other so actively.
Boom. Yeah, I think you're completely correct. Like, especially as Hannah's about to have a baby, it's like, isn't it so important for her to leave her quarrels in the past? Like, you gain a new perspective when you become a mother. That's the only thing I've ever learned from mine. In a real way. Yeah, I think you're right. Like, I think a big part of forgiveness usually, though, is like, it's for oneself. Like, you have to forgive in order to like alleviate your own pain, because that's the person that's hurting.
I also think Jessa's never said I'm sorry until this moment, and it's like,
and if there was ever a time to say it, this feels like one of the good ones.
This feels like the time. Have you ever been in a fight with somebody and then forgave them at a party?
Parties are usually where fights start.
Exactly.
So it's beautiful to see one end.
I feel like I'm reconciliating at a party.
Wait,
I killed that verb.
You got that word?
Yeah.
I couldn't get it earlier.
It's it's the big word of the podcast, guys.
Yeah.
Reconciliation.
Sometimes you're one White Claw deep and you're like, I actually am not upset, and it was never about you. But
substance sometimes can be important. they do bring down walls.
Mm-hmm.
I got a text from my friend from college yesterday that's like, drugs are the answer. I need to do all of them. And I was like, yes, girl, you gotta.
There are definitely those drug epiphanies where you're like, oh, wait, I love you. You know what I'm saying? Where you're like, where you feel like you're upset with someone and then like the drug hits in a certain way that you're like, oh, I need to call them.
Yeah.
It's fine between us.
No,
Yeah,
it's so true.
beautiful.
If you've ever done ketamine, it's like it does open your eyes up to eco and political problems across the United States.
Is that what happened to you?
Yeah, every time.
Whoa.
I end weeping.
That's beautiful.
Over eco and political,
Problems across the United States.
but not beyond the borders.
Well, I haven't K-holed yet.
Mm.
But the moment I
Okay.
do, honey, I'm thinking about global impact. I swear to God.
K-hole learns what globalization means to you.
Literally.
So we covered Beach House episode, I want to say 7 months ago.
Mhm.
And we were like, what's happening here happens again in the bathroom scene in the end of season 6. And now we're here. It feels crazy to watch it unfold. When we talked to Zasha Mamad, she was like, I was so proud of her in this moment. She finally fought for what she needed. And she was so right. How do you feel about Shoshanna being done with the girls?
I mean, I remember watching it like for the first time, like years ago when I very first saw it. And I was like, yeah, I remember being like, yeah, this is exactly what's like supposed to happen. I feel like so oftentimes in television, you know, it's like writers getting in a room and like writing, you know, you're writing in a way that like maybe doesn't reflect real life. And I guess this is kind of doing that, but like in a way that like I really enjoyed.
Right.
It's really her like sitting down and being like, oh yeah, like she saw what I saw in that moment where I was like, oh yeah, a lot of you guys aren't supposed to be in each other's lives. A lot of you guys really are supposed to like go your separate ways. And she like really, I was proud of her. She really sat down and
Right.
like, did
Especially
that.
because this is a moment we actually haven't seen all 4 girls in a scene in this whole season 6, and I think since season 5. Like the last time we see them all together, I might be wrong, but it's at Marnie's wedding.
What?
Is that true?
Yeah.
All right, someone fact check.
Someone to fact check, but can you think of another time?
I can't think of the Rolodex of scenes right now. I'm
Well,
too stressed.
because then Shoshana goes to Japan and is barely in season 4.
Mm-hmm.
And then season 5, Jessa and Hannah are fighting, so they don't.
And in season 6, Shoshana's only talking to Ray, pissing me the hell off. I'm so mad because Ray gets such a big arc and Shoshana doesn't in season 6. And I'm like, okay, he's not a girl. Get him out.
That is true.
But thank God he wasn't in this episode. Shout out. Do you care about Ray?
I mean, not as much, you know, certainly not as much as the rest of the girls, but I have a certain soft spot for Ray, I think. There's a certain, okay, not you at all.
No.
I mean, I don't think that as a person who's like done a lot of stand up, I think Ray reminds me of like a guy that you meet at an open mic and he's
you're
like,
so
He
right.
so does.
you know what I mean? And he's like, you don't want to hang out with him, but you do just end up spending so much time around him, and he's like miserable all the time that you have a certain like love for him.
Yeah.
And I think that's kind of how I felt about him as a character.
It's
Like,
also so more Manhattan.
Yes.
Because in Brooklyn, all the old guys are gay. And they're actually in the prime of their lives.
is that true?
Yeah, for sure.
Someone fact check
Okay,
that one.
Okay.
Well, I just think it's really we could talk about it for 45 to 80 minutes. of
I'm
old
glad
guys.
Ray and Abigail got together last episode.
That was
Yeah,
awesome.
that's
I
really
rewatched
cute.
that and I was like, oh, I forgot 80 pops up in this.
Oh God, she kills me every time when she like talks on the street the way she talks.
And that one, when like a car goes by and she goes, get out of here. That was so funny to
I
me. I was
think
like,
she eats everything
I forgot
up.
about
Eats everything up.
I'm addicted.
I really enjoyed seeing them like find each other.
Yeah.
That was really beautiful.
I think her character in Girls actually has more depth than her character in Shrills. And of course, we can talk about that later.
Whoa.
But like her
Bomb
character
drop.
in Shrills is kind of one dimension. And Abigail in this, that girl's got character.
She does.
I do
I
have
can
to
see all
say,
3 sides.
Abigail's fun as fuck.
Yeah, Abigail's fun as fun.
And in Shrill, you're like, she's fun enough, but she could be having way more
She
fun.
could be having. She's not very.
but it's a
kooky at all.
dramedy.
I know, but honey, they're focusing on a drama for her, and the rest are getting calmy.
Girl, what girl are you? But Shoshana, what the hell? When did she get engaged? We never even get any. Who is Byron?
I don't know who Byron. I love that his name's Byron. That's just a very funny name for that specific.
Yeah.
I don't. Yes, but also with Shoshana, isn't this the second time in the show that I guess this isn't Shoshanna specific, but isn't this the second time in the show that there's been like a big relationship that like got revealed at the last minute?
Right. Yeah,
Like,
because
remember
Jessa marries that guy season 1.
Well, no, when Jessa has that friend who fakes her own death.
Oh, I love that one.
And then Jessa pops up at the house and she's like fully like married with, does she have a kid?
Yeah, she has a
Yes.
kid.
I heard-
And
yeah.
And a
she's
hot
like, "Can I
husband.
hold your baby?" And she's like, "No, get out of my home."
Yeah. It's the second time where, I mean, I guess it's,
It's actually one of 8.
yeah, where you're just like, oh, wait, they're just with someone seriously now?
Literally.
Yeah.
It felt the same. The Jessa and Adam being able to pull off making an indie film, just them two, feels as like unrealistic as Shoshanna getting engaged. I also feel like Shoshanna was just at the Jamba Jeans like networking event and was like, I don't have any friends that don't suck. For her to make an entire apartment full of girls with nice purses as friends suddenly, I'm like, where'd you come from? Where'd you go?
Where'd she come from? Cotton Eye Joe.
That's right.
Thank you for saying that.
But I bet it's because she got her job at an ad agency as an assistant, right?
No, we like she has a job, but like, do we never get to really see it? And she's tooling around with Ray all day, so I'm like, she's barely even working.
What does Byron think of Ray?
Oh, we can't get into that.
We're gonna have to get him on the pod and sit
Wait.
Byron down and be like, "What's up, dude?"
Was Ray at the party?
No.
No.
Yeah, Ray wasn't at the engagement
Even
party.
though Shoshanna considers her like him a
Interesting.
very close friend.
Right. I mean, she
He
helped
should
set
be
him up with, or she helped set him up with Abigail.
They spent the whole day together. Like,
Yeah.
Shoshanna's
Well,
last
maybe they're in a
strange.
fight
yeah, I
because
guess.
because Shoshanna gets mad that she's a third
I'd say
wheel.
annoyed.
She's just annoyed. Actually, she would never not
And Hermie
invite.
just died, so maybe.
Yeah.
Huh.
R.I.P.
But
Hermie.
shout out to Shoshanna for building the life she wants for herself. I, of course, am a little bit like, I feel like a lot of people are like, I'm so glad she found this. But it's like, is she really meant to be friends with these like girls with amazing personalities? Like, do they have amazing personalities? Like, we talked about this in the Jamba Jeans episode where it's like, these girls, Jess is like, you don't want to be friends with these Jamba Jean girls. They suck. And she's like, no, I do. And I'm just like, I want to believe that Shoshanna isn't exactly like them and isn't like 100% them, but maybe that's wishful thinking.
I don't mean to isolate you, but Amelia and I did have a 2-hour conversation the other way where I said gay people can't work at Fortune 500 companies. And it's exactly like that.
We got in a huge fight because I was like, how come no one has a job? And Evan's like, gay people shouldn't have to work.
Well, I said they shouldn't have to work at Fortune 500 companies. Well, they should be able to, but it's harder for them.
Why? Expound on that.
I think really like normative gay guys can, but
Yeah.
I don't think the real argument is queer people have a really hard time working at Fortune 500 companies because everyone does have to put a mask on.
Yeah.
But for queer people, that mask is even bigger and larger. And like, of course, there's so many other demographics of people that affects. But for queer people, because, or at least like it's just like, it's so easy you can shut that off in such a significant way.
Mm-hmm.
And when queer people had to fight to be authentic for so much of their lives, it's like they have to unlearn so much.
That makes sense. Yeah. No, I'm all the way with you. This makes plenty of sense.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
What's your
Well,
argument, girl?
that girls are always pretending at corporate jobs. No one's really like that.
Yeah, but gay people
I
had to
do
unlearn.
think some people are like that.
Yeah,
Really?
also, yes.
Absolutely.
Well, you probably interact with people who email professionally.
I guess so. There are people at my job who like that is their job. Like I also like I've done a lot of stuff like before, like writing and like working in TV. Like I worked in like real office jobs. Some people really just
They really do.
They just like to do that stuff.
Oh
and
my
that's
God.
and when I met those people, that's when I was like, I gotta do something else because that
Right.
it felt so wrong to me.
You also are that kind of girl who likes to do that, by the way.
Send a fire react emoji on Slack.
I like my face can't hide how I'm actually feeling, so I couldn't go into like an all hands meeting and be like, we got to do this. Time to
Yeah.
sell. I like couldn't turn it on. It's frightening
It's
to
hard.
me.
Okay,
I've worked at
yeah.
3 Fortune 500, and it's like every single time I did want to end my life at the
Yeah,
end.
totally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And those were even just internships. That was
Mhm.
just 3 months.
Yeah. We're on the same page.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then when I got fired from a Fortune 500 company, I did post my layout video online and got 13 million views.
Let's
So the
go.
best thing I've ever done.
Evan keeps reposting the same layoff video trying to get to 10K on Instagram. I'm like, girl, there's got to be a better way.
There
What-
isn't. I can't figure it out.
If anybody out there listening who doesn't follow Evan, please do it for me.
Please.
I'm stressed. Okay, back to interior bathroom.
Yep.
The final scene, Shosh is over it. Hannah's like, I'm still gonna be a selfish little bitch. Jess is like, human shit is everywhere. Relax. Oh my god, the scene where she's like, come on, Marnie, you shat in the street. And Marnie's like, no. And she's like, you're saying never, not once. Have you not shit in a toilet? And Marnie was like, yeah, no.
Yeah, you're impossible to deal with is the following line. And that one of the funniest things I've ever heard.
That was all really hilarious.
God, they have fun. Even in the fight scene.
Can you guys remember a time, and I know there is, but like when Jessa and Marnie really had an amazing moment together? Was it the time they kissed in that guy's apartment?
Oh, I forgot about in that like rich guy's apartment.
Yeah, and then Jessa marries him.
Oh,
Thomas John.
Thomas John.
You know what? I do love in season 1 when Jessa comes over to Marnie after Marnie's broken up with Charlie, and she's like in a big tee, no makeup, and Jessa's like, you're so pretty. And Marnie's like, no, I'm not. And Jess is like, yeah, you are. That's a beautiful moment between those two.
No, absolutely.
But
I do wish Marnie went to Jessa after Panic in Central Park, because she would have known how to deal with the whole Charlie situation better than anyone else.
Oh yeah, that's the bottle episode. Where I mean, also one of my favorite episodes where he's like a straight up junkie. Oh yeah, and he's like stealing shit.
I just love that like thousands of people are like, it's the most romantic thing, and it's like Marnie's like in a vat of like the river.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, it is romantic.
Oh, the pond in Central Park.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I know, but in this version, the Central Park pond is clean.
It's cool.
It's cool.
I like it.
Yeah,
I
it's
like
gorgeous.
it. Well, is there anything other?
Yeah, so I actually we have to respect Shoshanna, and you were saying this earlier, for like putting down such a clear boundary.
Yep.
Where Marnie's in there and like, yes, she's been in therapy for this long, but like it's not really clearly working in such a significant way. And she's only like learned how to say the words, but not actually understand the deeper meaning.
Yep.
While she's in there, Jess is literally cleaning her ears with a Q-tip, and Hannah's too pregnant to care. So Shoshanna being like, actually, it's time for me to take this step back and be like, love you girls, but actually I'm really smarter than everyone thinks. And she always has to say that. And it's like, it's time for me to hang out with people that fulfill me in a more significant way. And like, yes, these are girls with nice purses and good personalities, but it's like, that's what she wanted this whole time. That is the plight of an NYU student.
What she always wanted.
Yeah, she just found herself in a weird
It is
situation.
like, in that bathtub scene, we do get the full like ending of all these arcs. Like Hannah is moving for the baby because the baby deserves to like live in a safe environment. And so that's the first time Hannah is making a choice for somebody besides herself. And then we've got Shoshanna, who started as like such a little baby puppy dog with like Sex and the City dreams, now having the audacity to be like, this is what's getting in the way of me reaching my reality that I want, is like you girls and hanging out in this environment. Like I'm taking myself out of the equation and I'm building the life I want for myself. So we really see her take ownership of her own life. And then Marnie is finally like reflective for the first time ever of being like, we're all a mess. I need to do some inner work. I'm in therapy. Let's work this out. Even though it's not fully realized, she's still doing it. And Jessa finally is like, yeah, my best is pretty shitty.
Right. And I think Shoshanna's her significant character arc is she's actually never really hurt anyone. Actively, like, clearly Hannah's hurt Jessa, Jessa's hurt Marnie, Marnie's hurt. Everyone's like hurt each other, except Shoshanna's always one being hurt by these girls. Like that's been her big differential point to all this. Like she's just the younger one who like goes with the flow and like was grateful for what she had, but now that she's like gained a level of clarity and experience in her life, she's like better able to separate herself from the situation and be like, actually these girls never treated me well and it's okay for me to step away, where like the rest of the girls are more committed to staying in this relationship because like they've all hurt each other. At least that's how I see it. Yeah.
Of all 4 girls, who do you think is their best is the worst? Amazing question. Okay, this is a new segment that we're introducing, the second to last episode.
Okay. Yeah.
Of all the girls, whose best is the worst?
Whose best is the worst? I mean, I feel like everybody's in contention here. Whose best is the absolute worst? I mean, I guess I kind of have to say it's Jessa, right?
Yeah. Correct answer. Thank you so much for saying it. I got scared there for a second.
Yeah, I had to think, but I was like, yeah, Jessa doesn't.
I'm going to add a deal or no deal sound effect right there, locking it in.
Jessa kind of never does anything good for anybody else that I can remember.
She fixes everybody's hair at Marnie's wedding.
Okay.
That was sweet.
That's 1 point.
Yeah.
One point
and
on
then
the board.
she kisses Adam.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, Adam kisses her. Let us not forget.
Yeah.
Oh,
It takes two to tango.
Forgot about it. Yes. Yeah, she's kind of the least redeemable.
I know, but
She doesn't-
Marnie's pretty evil too.
Yeah, but Marnie can be really good. Like, she actually does go with Hannah to Vassar in the next episode.
She comes through for Hannah.
Yeah.
I mean, she's helping Hannah raise her child.
Literally. And she plans that abortion.
Yeah, for like...
I feel like we need to talk about how Shoshanna is not the most amazing friend. For being as self-righteous as she is, like, even when we went to pick up, like, Jessa from rehab, she was so just, like, emotionally not intelligent towards that whole situation. And, like, she's never really going out of her way to help anyone. She's just kind of being a bitch when she gets drunk.
She's really good to men.
And then she is really good to men. But I'm just like, Shoshanna's not the nicest girl, and we've let that slip under the rug this whole time.
Yeah, but she's never done actively
Yeah, she doesn't
so
actively,
bad.
like, screw anybody over. In
That
the way
is
that I feel like
true.
everyone else is doing to each other all the time.
I guess that is true.
Man, now I'm trying to think. I'm like, does Jessa have like a really big redeeming moment where she's like,
she delivers Caroline's baby.
oh, sample.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I forgot about
Sample.
Sample. I do love that every time they show Sample, he's wearing the exact same hat as Laird.
I know.
That is
it's
that's
so
a very funny touch to me.
sweet.
Wait,
Yeah.
I actually do have to say, yeah, Jessa's really good in a crisis.
Yes, like in the exact moment where you're like,
Yeah.
I need to, because she's like always in a fucked up situation, so she
Right.
knows how to like get out of one. She's a
Yeah.
person who shit on the street, seemingly many times.
Many times.
Based on-
Well, she gets arrested for peeing on the street. If you remember with Adam.
Of course.
That's huge. I feel like everybody in Brooklyn remembers that fact about
yeah,
Jessa.
because we're all scared because I've at least peed on the street, so I'm like,
I mean, of course,
but I am scared that a gay guy or a cop will lock me up.
a gay guy or a cop.
Yeah, either one.
What about a gay cop? Oh my God.
Whoa.
They don't have those.
I start crying.
At least not publicly.
Not publicly.
Not yet, anyways.
LOL. Yeah, it is just a very. I do like that. Like Lena was saying in the trivia for the IMDb page that we talked about before you got here. In her mind, this is the series finale, and then the last episode of the show is kind of a short film because this is an epilogue. Because this is the last episode we see Sasha or Shoshanna and Jessa. So it's her last day on set, and then it's only Marnie and Hannah to go to the next one. It's like for the actual show of girls, in a real way, this is the ending.
Yep.
Oh God.
And thank God Elijah got that role.
Thank God Elijah got the role. Thank God the last scene is all the girls dancing. But, you know, we've seen all these girls dancing in different iterations throughout the 6 seasons. It's interesting to me that all these girls were dancing, but none of them together. All alone. The symbolism there.
Well, Jessa's wedding. Did they dance at? Sorry, I said dress.
I'm just thinking of like the dancing on my own, like all the episodes that end with like a dance number.
Oh.
It's like the girls are dancing in friendship. It's very like Meredith and Sandra Oh. What's her character's name? Christina dancing in Grey's Anatomy. Of course, we've seen all 21 seasons.
Yes.
And then but now they're all finding themselves.
This is and I think that's I do want to do one call out because we did skip over this.
Yeah.
The second, or is it the first scene of this episode, or the second scene where Hannah and Elijah are in their apartment.
Oh yeah.
And Elijah and Hannah are having this very fun roommate conversation through the wall, which is so magical. Where Hannah's like, "Do you want to come sleep in my bed?" He's like, "Do you want me to sleep with you or sleep in your bed?" It's like either one. Why would it be so wrong to sleep with me? Like, I love the magic of all that.
That was really
And
nice.
the fact that they're in bandanas eating burritos like old times.
Yeah, and then he sings "Cool for the Summer" to her, and had to unfollow Demi Lovato because her stuff was getting too dark.
And I'm just like, this happened in 2016. Like this was a jumping off point. Like we hadn't even gotten into the thick
That's
of
what
Demi.
I was like, oh, this is real foreshadowing for where we will
Literally.
later arrive. Yeah.
Literally.
Well, perfect sag.
I know. Okay, our next segment. Girl, get your Glock. It's rapid fire time. We're going to ask you a series of rapid fire questions, and you have to answer them as quickly as you can. Do you think you can do it?
I'm excited. I can't wait.
And away we go. Are you schoolgirl or are you gonna get schooled, girl?
I'm going to get schooled, girl.
Are you the voice of your generation or a voice of a generation?
A voice of a generation.
Would you rather live in an ugly building with a view of a gorgeous building or a gorgeous building with a view of an ugly building?
The first one.
What did your first apartment smell like?
Hot wings.
Yeah.
Where would you go in a goodbye tour of NYC?
a Popeyes underneath an above ground train system.
Do you think you can find love at a sprinkle cupcake vending machine?
I hope so. Because that's where I'm looking.
Yeah.
Can you show people the meat and guts of the internet?
Yup.
How are you following your bliss, milady?
by doing the Girls We Watch podcast right now.
Yes. Has NYU brought you anything but misery?
It's brought me my current girlfriend and also several other women that it did not work out with.
Oh, I did meant to say New York, but NYU is better for this, honestly.
Yeah, it really worked.
Are we going to throw randomized grenades of hostility at one another?
Not today.
Not today.
How many times have you seen a human shit on the street?
At least 6.
Okay, yeah, I was trying to think of how many times, and I think for me, we're at like at least 10 in my 2 years.
I've never seen it. I always look up when I walk.
Man.
I'm always looking down when I walk, and then I'm constantly catching myself being like, a woman who's killing it in New York City would look up. So then I start staring at the sky, but then I like trip over the sidewalk. So it's like, how do we win?
You got to be peering down. There's just stuff down there. Also, a thing, I mean, we're from the same place. A thing that really bugged me out about this city that I really don't like is that dogs shit on the concrete.
I know.
It's really unnerving to me. I'm like, I didn't even know that dogs could do that until I moved to the city. Because there's
You're
no
crunching
grass.
the numbers in your head. You're like, I didn't know the math could do that.
I had no idea that dogs even could shit on not grass. I thought that they just like spiritually didn't find that
I know.
correct.
Right.
And it happens here all the time. And that's why I know this is a cursed
Enough's
city.
enough.
Yeah.
I know. I can't
Also,
handle it.
there's that whole interesting part. Speaking of just like we're talking New York stuff, there's that whole really beautiful conversation that Hannah and Elijah are having at the very beginning about New York City and what it. I feel like that, like I watched that when I still lived in Texas, watching it like while I lived in New York. So much about the show when you actually, if you didn't live in New York when you watch it for the first time, if you live in New York once you watch it the second time, you're like, oh. You know
Literally.
what I mean? Like they were talking about their relationship to the city and talking about how it's like brought them so much misery, but like they don't want to live anywhere else, you know?
It's beautiful.
That's
Do you think you're ever going to leave New York?
unfortunately no. I really think this is, I'd like to maybe get a place like upstate or like maybe back home in Texas that I like go to when the weather's shitty here, but like
You deserve that.
I think I'm a New Yorker, unfortunately. I think it's got its.
Yeah, you deserve Hudson Valley and an apartment in Chelsea.
Thank you.
Whatever you want.
That's all. Exactly.
Whatever you want, Devin.
Thank you so much.
Please.
Okay,
this brings us to our last segment of the pod.
Yes.
That outfit in Brooklyn?
That's where you compare Brooklyn then versus Brooklyn now.
Yes.
Now you've been in New York 6 years, you said?
That's right.
Okay, so you were here for like maybe the very end era of Girls.
No.
26. No, before.
It was already over.
Yeah.
By the time I moved here.
Okay, but you can imagine.
I can.
And
Please.
you, of course, you were a young person in 2015.
Yes.
Is there anything in this episode that stands out as like this is a period piece?
When they were talking about the cupcake vending machine, that specifically,
I know when we put it in the rapid fire, I was like, is that vending machine still out there now?
No, just the cupcake craze. Of
It's
sort of
over.
the mid-2010s, that really stuck out to me when I was like, oh yeah, I forgot about like cupcake food trucks. Like that was such a...
You're going to catch Baked by Melissa in this episode if you look closely.
Oh really?
At the engagement party is Baked by Melissa.
There you go.
Well, cupcakes are really over because every day I'm getting Baked by Melissa TikToks, and honey, she's making a salad. She's making anything but a cupcake.
Really?
Yeah, she did
Yeah.
cookbook of salads. That girl's crazy.
She's really good at editing. Like she'll like chop a bunch of lettuce and be like, all right, this is what we're doing. And it's like in a way where I'm like, I have to listen
Are
to
you
the
talking
whole...
about the green goddess salad that she made?
Yeah, of course.
Of course, it's amazing. I made it 4 times afterwards.
Wait, I want it right now.
It's that good of a TikTok.
I gotta learn about the salad.
Yeah, you really do.
You gotta check out Baked by Melissa's Instagram.
I had
She's
no idea she was
also
doing
progressing.
salads now. This is
Forget meat cutes at the vending machine.
Well, there's one thing about a cupcake owner. It's like it's the skinniest white woman you've ever seen.
always.
Always.
I know.
Yeah.
It's like literally like Dakota Johnson arms where it's like so frail.
And that's not who I want making my food really of any sort.
Right.
Right.
You know, I want like I want an immigrant with a dirty apron. That's who I want.
100%.
That's how you know your food's
Yeah,
about to
but
pop.
they would never think about making a cupcake that small.
No. They don't make any. It's all big portions.
Right,
Which
exactly.
is like, they're big, like indulgent, beautiful
Only a girl on
portions.
the fringe of Ozempic who doesn't need it would make a cupcake that small.
That is so true. What else I mean, Cool for the Summer, Demi Lovato. Didn't feel like a period piece to me. I would sing that through the wall
And
to my
I
roommate
am.
today.
Mhm.
Well, you were saying Miley Cyrus 23andMe.
Yeah, so that's another one. The Mike Will made it. Miley Cyrus era really was a relic of an era that I'd almost forgotten completely.
I think that song didn't have a resurgence. It was big on TikTok for a second. I think the scary part is that we lost Mike Will. I haven't seen that guy around in ages.
Oh, I thought you were saying he died. And I was like,
just in a cultural sense.
Mike Will didn't make it.
I didn't even know.
I was like, no, not Mike Will. Okay, I'm happy Mike Will is still
here.
Is still with us, but he doesn't. You're right. He's not making songs with the pop girls anymore.
He did help Miley with her most recent album, but it's like she never called him out.
Oh, really?
Mike Will made it.
Something's happening on my Twitter feed right now where every time I open it, it's like Pop Crave being like, Jack Antonoff just followed Chapel Brown on Instagram. What does it mean? And I'm like, they had to already know about each other for years.
Yeah, literally.
I would have to imagine. I met Jack Antonoff recently.
Oh my god.
He's very like he's very like affectionate. He's very
really?
like
He's touchy.
He's very. I was like, oh, he kind of like has. I get why he has these relationships with all these people because he kind of has a vibe where he like acts like he's known you forever. As soon as like he's kind of just like, what's up? You know, very active listener.
Oh my god,
I love that.
Nice guy.
I will say, not to pat my own back, that's how I was at the fancy food show today.
You're kind of the Jack Antonoff of the fancy food show.
The Jack Antonoff
Everybody was probably saying that as you were walking around. This guy's like Jack Antonoff. He's got a real Jack Antonoff vibe.
Jack Antonoff was a producer on every song in this episode. I scrolled through IMDb to find that out. But this song,
I forget they used to date for a long time.
Yeah.
Oh,
wait, he did 23.
Yeah, he was like all of them he did something with. But Crowded Places by Banks was like the end.
And the song.
When Hannah's driving to Vassar or wherever it is.
Oh, that's that song. What's the last song they play? Did you catch that?
No, I didn't write that one down. Sorry.
It wasn't
I didn't
good.
care about
I didn't
it.
care about it for a single second.
Yeah.
But I did like the Banks song a lot. Because that's an immediate transition in 23.
The braids are killing me. The fact that Lena Dunham or Hannah's braids and Caroline's braids are basically the same. I'm like, the hairdresser was like, what if we did it on everyone today? It's so summer camp vibes where it's like everybody has their hair braided that day.
It's kind of just at the wedding.
I know.
I think that was a big call out for me was that Tad and his husband, who I never got the name of, met on a sex and
they didn't get married.
They met. I didn't say it yet.
They met on a site called like
called
gay.com.
Gay.com.
That was so funny.
Which was a big website of its time.
Oh, that was a real thing?
It's real?
Yeah, and both don't look at me like that.
I really thought that was just like a joke website, and I was like, oh, that's a really funny thing to call this thing that these old men met each other on.
No,
what was the vibe of gay.com?
It was a gay GPS sex dating service.
So not
it's like Sniffies.
Not unlike
it was Grindr for the internet.
Yeah, not
age.
unlike Grindr.
Yeah, it was, but it was a little bit more wholesome, and it had like it wasn't as like sex forward.
Was it more
say.
Craigslist-y energy?
It was more like a vintage website. It's like, what would you gay person type in? Gay.com,
right?
Of course.
No, that is genius.
It's genius. It's amazing marketing. If someone could get gaywebsite.com today, they would absolutely jump on that.
And it especially feels like something that Hannah's dad, like a newly gay man of that age, would find. Gay.com like that. He's like, where else would I go?
Well, this is an interesting thing I learned recently. Grindr is the highest profitable dating app. It's more than Bumble. It's more than Hinge. Because gay men have a lot of disposable income and time on their hands.
There you go.
Yeah.
But not from working at a Fortune 500 company.
No, gay men can. And those are the people on Grindr. But queer people.
men cannot.
Yeah.
I see.
The difference between gay and queer, we're really diving in today.
Yeah. And especially on the Vassar College campus. I'm sure that's part of her lecture series. Anything
else that stood out? I don't know. It felt pretty timeless. I'd wear Shoshanna's dress now to my engagement party.
Yeah, it was cute. I'm trying to think. I hated Marnie's dress in this. I don't know. It had a motif of like a
girl. I loved it. I was putting in my newly order last night, and I was looking.
It's right here. There's a cactus on it.
Oh, that was of a time as well.
Do you think these shower caddies are still in?
Yeah, I think some people still have those. I think
people have less bathroom products now.
I feel like this is exactly what the inside of my shower looks like.
Yeah, there was some grime in there in a way that did feel authentic.
Yeah, it was like, this is an authentic bathroom.
Like someone's really been using this.
Right, exactly.
I did note that as I was watching.
I am always so curious. Every time we get into your bathtub on this show, I'm like, they've really nailed the grime.
Yes, I agree.
Jessa's varsity jacket here. I don't know. This is very Urban Outfitters 2017.
The jacket and the dress as well.
Yeah, they're both very Urban Outfitters 2017.
That's true.
I gotta be honest, I'd wear all these outfits today.
I'll be honest, I wouldn't touch a single one.
Wait a second. What about? I'm not mad at what Shoshanna has going on here.
Right?
Oh,
It's
her
so cute.
engagement dress?
Yeah, I'm not mad at that.
I love the like, crochet moments.
Yeah, I'm not mad at that.
Yeah, okay, it's cute enough. I'll give you guys that.
Mhm.
I'm kind of mad at the rest. Okay, gorgeous app.
I know. Wait, any closing thoughts?
This isn't about the episode that we were talking about, but we were talking about songs and girls. That episode where they're at the club introduced me to that Iconopop song.
I love it.
That was the first time I ever heard it.
Oh my god, really?
In my life, yeah,
Wow.
and that's a real millennial anthem. So
It's a real millennial anthem.
that's a millennial anthem
Thank
for
you,
sure.
Lena Dunham.
That song, "Walking on a Dream,"
Yeah.
by those are really that's my culture. So
Oh my god.
We've
Thank
said this on the pod before, but that's an actual couple, Andrew.
okay, wait a second,
Yeah.
Andrew and Andrew. One of the guys from Andrew and Andrew is a stand-up comedian.
The Andrew?
Yeah.
The one
Do
Andrew.
you guys know about this?
In Manhattan, though.
He's around.
Oh,
He's
yeah.
Well, we're
he
always
ru-
talking
we
to
should
people
book
that are
him.
like, I know Andrew.
I've met one of them. So they used to be
Personally.
married.
I did not know that.
And they both had to name Andrew and wear the same outfit every day. But they got divorced.
Mm-hmm.
No one at Andrews is married to a woman.
That's the one who's a comedian
Yeah.
because his wife comes to a lot of the shows.
Honey, that's because that's a
Damn.
joke. No. Well, whatever. I don't
Hey,
Whatever. It
whoa.
It doesn't matter. But yes, I've done many of his shows, not in a while, but he is an active stand-up comedian. And I remember being like, wait a second, you're Andrew.
I've seen you DJ.
Oh, he's the one that gets a weekly show at the Red Room.
I
That
guess.
sounds unfair.
The Red Room. Hello.
It's him and Emily
Yeah.
Wilson. That's all, yeah. Wait, when you were watching the show in Texas, were you knowing that you wanted to move to New York, or did the show make you?
I never thought that I'd move to New York, honestly.
Oh.
Because when I was in college, I wasn't doing comedy at all. It wasn't until I was doing comedy that I think when I was in Texas, I always assumed I'd live in like a second tier city. I always assumed I'd move to
You're like, San Antonio is going to be awesome.
No. I had to get it because when you're from where we're from in Texas, nobody leaves Texas. Like you just move from one of the major cities to a different one. You know what I'm saying? Like if you
Yeah.
grow
Because
up-
Texas is a country.
Exactly. So like, if you grow up in the Austin area, you like move to Dallas, you move to Houston, and like that's your big move. I didn't want to be like that, so I was like, one day I'm gonna live in New Orleans, or like I'm
Hell yeah.
gonna move to like Atlanta. Like when I was like just working office jobs, that's what I thought I was gonna do.
You would have had fun in New Orleans.
It's one of my favorite cities.
It's the best.
It's one of my favorite
That's
cities.
where my liberal arts college was.
What? Which school's there?
Tulane.
Tulane. Yes.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Gorge. Okay. Oh, no.
No, never mind.
No,
That's,
it's
I'll
okay.
I'll tell you about it. It's not even girls related. I'll tell you about it later.
Well, where can people find
It's also
you?
kind of sad. I'll tell you off pod. You can find me on I'm mainly just on Instagram at Internet Devon, and I'm on tour. I'm on tour with a couple other guys from
Ooh.
SNL. I think by the time this comes out, where are we
Is it
gonna
all
be?
boys? It's like girls but boys.
It's yes, and that's kind of the theme of the tour.
That's amazing.
And that's what that's kind of what we're telling everybody. But yeah, we're gonna be in where are we at? We're in Seattle, we're in Portland, we're in San Francisco, and LA. I think after this comes
Gorge.
out. So if you guys are in any of those cities,
Check it out.
come see me. Come talk about girls with me.
Love
I
it.
hope NYU students can go everywhere.
Yes, exactly.
That'd
No,
be
they
huge.
can. They
And
can.
Also, as a second straight man on the pod, I like to say, fuck Moss Pericone. I think you guys reply in the comments who's a better straight man on the pod.
Wait, we'll do a poll on our
Yeah,
IG
like
stories.
who took it home.
He
Yeah.
only watches the first two seasons of this show, so you win.
He only watched the first two.
No, he only this is his favorite show. He
Mhm.
says.
He says,
But he
this
won't
is my
watch
favorite show. I
past season
rewatch
two."
it every day. I've never seen season 3, 4, 5, or 6.
Why?
It's the only show he watches too.
But why won't he watch the rest of the series?
Scientists are still trying to get to the bottom of it.
Fascinating. Well, then I already beat Moss out just by sheer number of episodes viewed. That's crazy.
Yeah, what an amazing note to end on. Bye, everybody.
I like that ending.
See you next week.
Bye.